And then you had also mentioned using your own voice.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met, Jaeden, you were talking about there being a science behind the power of using your own voice. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think as far as the science and your own voice, I mean, mostly what's important is your own internal voice. So your own personal affirmations that are, coming from within yourself. So, I mean, I think hearing your own voice is really powerful because you are telling yourself that. So I think there's a lot to that.
It's more familiar.
Yeah, it's more familiar, but like the science mostly covers, the personal affirmations coming from yourself personally. They've done a lot of studies where they have people write down, for you personally, what are the most, important attributes you have in yourself. And I mean, essentially that's doing affirmations, right? That's creating affirmations. They call that self-affirmation. What are the most important things for yourself, and looking over those things and truly believing them. Because what's so powerful with affirmations is you're not just saying things that, you're like, oh, this is far-fetched, I don't believe it. If you repeat an affirmation over and over again, but you don't believe it, but you just say the words, it's not going to do anything. You need that your internal self to be believing those things. It's the belief behind the affirmation that gives it power. And you can use visualization and other things to strengthen that, but it's really important when you say affirmations or listen to affirmations to believe them and to find ways to, I guess you could say like justify, but like to validate that those affirmations are true. Think of examples in your life when you have been that, when you have done that. And doing that really brings the affirmation to yourself, and you're like, I really am that person. I really do those things. And that's what makes it incredibly powerful for, rewiring your neural pathways in your brain so that you can actively be that person.
And along those lines of internalizing it, sometimes people, especially if they're kind of like me and have more of a pessimistic nature, where you hear something and naturally in the back of your brain, you're like, if you hear an affirmation, it's like, I am strong, I can do this. In the back of your brain, you're like, I'm not strong, I can't do this. And essentially that serves as the opposite of a positive affirmation. That serves as a negative affirmation to yourself. You're telling yourself that you don't believe that you can do this. And so one of the tricks that we actually learned through a suggestion from a psychologist was we've incorporated what-if affirmations. So basically we have some subcategories that offer a little track where it takes an affirmation and forms it like a question. And basically by forming it like a question, it's able to bypass that filter in your brain that's like, when you come right up against something and you're like, is this true for me or not? You don't have to think that. By instead of just saying, I am strong, I can do this, what if I am strong? What if I can do this? Then it just allows your brain to just expand just enough to accept the possibility that maybe you can do this. What if this is possible? And so, yeah, what if affirmations I think are another good way just to implement like that belief inside of you in order to truly affirm within yourself that these things are possible.
Yeah, that belief is so important. So I love the what if affirmations. Personally, I'm like very naturally just optimistic. I believe I'm going to do it. I can do it. But I love the what if affirmations because it gives you a moment to reflect and to visualize. Like if I'm saying, what if I truly am, completely financially independent? So by saying what if, like all of a sudden I'm thinking like, what if, what would that look like? And I'm visualizing what would happen, what I would have to do, what I would have to accomplish, what my whole situation is. And that visualization and really internalizing that is powerful because it kind of gives you a roadmap of things you can do to become that, and things you can do to accomplish, those different goals. So I really do love the what if affirmations, and they're useful for people who are having a hard time, maybe with regular affirmations and cognitive dissonance with those.